Hello, friends. Robert the Corn Drap here with your Season 7 finale of Game of Thrones. Whew, boy. Time to unpack an hour and a half of just hard hits after hard hits after hard hits. We open the scene with the Lannister armies looking upon the Unsullied who have formed up outside the walls of King's Landing. And they're not alone, as the Dothraki have also ridden in between the columns to kind of show a force on this one. And you can see them making preparations for this fight on the insides of the walls. And they are then greeted with Tyrion, Jon, Sir Davos, and I want to say Melissa, the Queen's advisor, her handmaiden. And they get back on the road and they are greeted by Sir Bronn and the Lannister army to take them to this parlay. There's some reunions with the Hound running into Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion running into Podrick, and Tyrion also meeting into Sir Bronn. And he's like, remember my offer. Whatever they're paying you, I'll double it. It's going to be kind of hard. You are supporting a queen who's not really the queen, and she'd kill me. So you can't pay double of my life. So, but it's good to see you. And you can sense that in a lot of the meetings, it was very much, we are all friends here because we fought on the same sides in various senses. And there was one point where it's like it was the Hound and Brienne of Tarth talking, and Brienne's like, she's still alive, you know. Where? Winterfell? Ooh. If she's there and you're pledged to protect her, why aren't you there? The only one who needs protection is the person who tries to get in her way. Not me. Won't be me. Yeah. That about sums up Arya. They get to the parlay, and Daenerys is still not there yet, but Cersei, before going, has commanded Sir Clegane to kill Daenerys first. Kill Daenerys first. Kill Jon after that. Kill everybody else in whatever order you see fit. So they come up, and you now have Daenerys' council with Theon there, and then Cersei comes in after with Sir Clegane, Euron, and Jaime. They all sit down. She's like, Where's Daenerys? She's running a little behind. She didn't travel with you? Afraid not. So that's when shortly after that, Daenerys flies in on Drogon with Rhaegon behind her, which for me was a very big point. It's like, okay, we didn't see Rhaegon after the fight in Beyond the Wall, but now we see him again. He's okay. Great. Good. One undead dragon is enough. And it's at this point that we now get also Daenerys talking. Tyrion starts talking to Cersei. Listen, we're in a unique spot, and Euron just cuts him off, and he's like, "Hey, Theon, yeah, I've still got Yara. Submit to me here now, or I'll kill her." Ooh. And then he starts talking down to Tyrion. He's like, "Oh yeah, you? Yeah. You're of little consequence. On the islands, we'd kill you at birth. Call it mercy for the parents. Really? Remember what you said about him making dwarf jokes? Yeah, says Theon. He always ruins it by explaining it. And it's at this point that Cersei's like, "Listen, if I wanted to kill them, I'd have killed them. We didn't come here to threaten each other. So you can either sit down or leave, Euron." Euron, because Sir Gregor steps up and pulls out his sword a little bit, shows steel. Okay. And he goes sit back, and he turns around and goes sit back down. Sir Gregor sheathes his blade again, steps back. And before the Hound left, because he leaves, he walks up to Sir Gregor. He's like, "You're still alive. Huh. I don't know what they've done to you, but you're uglier than me, and I bet you remember who I am." Of course you do. Well, it's not going to matter much. You already know what's coming for you. And he turns around, he walks away. It's going to be, and I'm going to say it now, I want to see how, because I don't think that Arya can kill Cersei without killing Sir Gregor. But killing Sir Gregor is going to be just massively insane. So we have Jon step out. He's like, "Listen, we didn't come here to argue with you. We didn't come here for any other reason other than to show you what's about to happen." Sir Gregor, the Hound, comes up from one of the because this was an arena. He comes up from the sub areas, and he's got this box on his back, and because of the way they came in, we know it's the box containing the White Walker. He sets the box down. It's obviously very heavy, even for a big guy like him. Which, I'm going to note this now. They're using a different actor for the Mountain. They're not using the same guy. It can't be. Because, as I recall, and I might be wrong, and I welcome somebody in the comments, maybe Danielle or Will or anybody, to maybe show me I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the guy playing Sir Gregor now is not the same guy who played him before, because the Hound, I was pretty sure that in the first season he had to look up at the mountain. He was smaller than the mountain. But now they're pretty much eye to eye. And it's like, okay. Don't know why, but there we go. Whatever. So Sir Gregor sets the Hound sets the box down, pulls off the bars, locking it shut, opens the box, and it doesn't move. And I'm like, there's no way that White Walker's dead. It would have survived. You can't kill it unless you kill it, destroy it with dragon glass, or burn it. That's the only two things I can think of. And I don't think it's hot enough down there in King's Landing to have burned it. So you can see he's real nervous too. He's like, dude, do I touch it? I don't want to touch it. I gotta touch it? To hell with this. And he pitches the box over, and the white spills out of the box and immediately comes after Cersei. But right before it gets to Cersei, the Hound pulls on a collar that's around its neck, and it backplants, turns around, comes after him. He cuts it in half, right at the waist. It falls down, turns, and starts crawling towards him, gets that arm out like he's going to grab him, and the arm gets cut off at the elbow. And it can't do anything else. It's very wounded. Jon picks it up, Qyburn picks up the arm, and he's examining it, and the hand's still going. Jon walks over, takes the hand, pulls out a torch, holds it out. Davos lights it. He's like, you can destroy them by burning it. He lights the hand on fire, drops it, because the hand shrivels up and stops moving, and then he drops it. He drops the torch, pulls out a belt knife, or with dragon glass, and he walks over, grabs the thing by the hair, stuffs it up underneath the rib cage to kill it. Listen, this ain't about, Lannisters versus Targaryens versus any other house. It doesn't matter what our alliances are, what our allegiances are. There's only two armies that are about to fight this great war. The living and the dead. The army of the dead does not leave corpses behind. They can't. Tyrion tells me this is a city of 1 million people. Well, that's 1 million more soldiers in their army when they come south. And they will. They're already marching. Damn it. So, Cersei's like, you want the crown to take this truce. That's undeniable. The crown accepts this truce as long as the king in the north raises no banners, fights for no one, chooses no sides except for the side of the living. Oh, God damn it, Jon. He's like, and you can see him, he's looking around, and Davos is like, don't do it. Daenerys is like, But he turns to Cersei, he's like, you're right. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Dany's like, so you'll make this offer to Jon Snow, but you won't make it to me. I wouldn't make it to you because I don't trust you. And if you took it, I'd trust you even less. At least I know him Ned Stark's son will honor his word. He's like, yeah, no, I try to do the right thing as often as I can, but I can't serve two queens. I've already bent the knee to my queen, Daenerys Targaryen. So Cersei leaves, and they're starting to do, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. I had to. I couldn't. I don't have it in me to not be honest. He's like, you know, you could learn to lie. Just, you know, a little. Nah, can't do it. Well, and Tyrion's like, I'm gonna go try and talk to Cersei. You go, she'll kill you. I'll go. And Jon says, you go, she's definitely gonna kill you. I'm about to step into the... I'm about to go do this because we need this to happen. We have to fix this situation. She's not going to help us. We're not going to get what we need unless we have Cersei on our side fighting beside us. Okay? All right. So, he goes to talk to her. And as he's walking in, Jaime's walking out. He stops Jaime. He's like, did you talk to her? At her. Till she threw me out. Well, guess we're both idiots. Yeah. I'm about to step into a room with the most murderous woman in the world. So, I guess we should say goodbye, one idiot to another. He steps aside, Jaime steps aside. Tyrion walks in, he starts talking to Cersei. Cersei blames him not only for the death of Tywin, but also for the deaths of Marjorie and Tommen. Well, yeah, no, I killed father because he was going to try to have me killed for a murder I didn't commit. So I don't deny that one. You can't. But I didn't kill them because I loved them. I loved those children. She's like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear what you have to say on that. Well, whether you want to or not, I did. So, we have to work through this. You have to know that what's coming is worse than what you want to do to any of us. Because Euron is gone. After he saw the White Walker, he's like, no, I've sailed the world. I've seen things you can't imagine. That scares me. I'm gone. And he turns to Daenerys. He's like, you know, you can get back on your boat, sail back to your island, wait for all this to blow over, and then when it's over, we could rule the world. Just a thought. He goes and he leaves. And now that we're in this meeting with Cersei, Tyrion manages to convince her to come back to the table. And she's like, listen, I realize that if I fight this, if I deny this opportunity to make peace, then we're not going to all live. So the Crown will accept the truce, and we will send armies to fight alongside the Northmen, and we will do what we can until the true enemy is defeated. And then we can settle this. So it very much seems like Cersei may have finally seen reason. We go to Winterfell now, where Sansa is seen, just looking out over the north on the banner, on the ramparts, and she says to a guard as she walks back in, she's like, have my sister brought to the Great Hall. So at this point I'm thinking, no, she's not going to do it. She can't. Before they can get Arya to the Great Hall, she's in her chambers, and Littlefinger is talking to her. He's like, well, do you think she'd honestly do this? Do you think she'd honestly kill? Do you think she'd honestly kill you? No, I don't think she could. Unless she could, unless it was hurting Jon, she wouldn't. She's always loved Jon far more than me. Well, here's what I do. This is what I do. When I'm in a situation that I don't understand, I play a little game. What is the absolute worst that a person can do? What is the absolute worst reason that they could have to do whatever they're thinking about doing to me? What's the outcome of that? Does that outcome explain their actions? So what's the worst that Arya can do to you? She could kill me. Why would she kill you? Because she thinks I'm betraying Jon. Why would you betray Jon? Because she would think that I was betraying Jon because of the letter she found. Why would she unearth it? As justification after she's murdered me. Why would she murder you? Why would she need that justification after she's murdered you? So she can become the Lady of Winterfell. Okay. Now we have that answer. She goes into the Great Hall. Baelish is there. Arya's brought in. She stands before, she's sitting there, she's standing there, and there's a guard behind her. She looks at him, just, are you sure you want to stand there? The guard's like, okay, I'm just going to go stand over here now. And he goes over. She's standing, hands behind her back. You sure you want to do this? I'm bound by honor and oath. All right. Get on with it. You stand accused of murder. You stand accused of treason. How do you respond to these charges, Lord Baelish? And I'm like, yes! Get him! Get him! What? Me? No. No, you murdered Lysa Airy by throwing her through the moon door. Do you deny this? And he's like, no, no, I'm a good guy. You gave Lysa Airy Tears of Lys so she could murder Jon Arryn after he learned that Joffrey was an incestuous bastard. Do you deny this? You started the Stark Baratheon rebellion that put us in the mess that we're in now. Do you deny it? And he's like, no, I didn't do that. No, not me. He's like, give me a chance to defend myself. Well, you see, I'm a slow learner. It's true. But you've taught me very well. When I'm in this situation, I have to play a little game. What is the worst reason you do this? This is all you've ever done. You turn family against family, sister against sister. That's what you tried to do with me. That's what you did with Catelyn and Lysa Airy. You turn them against each other. So you now have Peter Baelish on his knees begging in tears. And Sansa's like, listen, no, you did this. You're not presenting any evidence that you haven't. I have all the evidence that you did. She looks over at Arya. Arya walks up. This dagger, you said it was a Lannister dagger. This Valyrian steel dragonbone dagger. It was yours, wasn't it? Slices his throat. Dies and bleeds out right there in the Great Hall. In front of everybody. And the captain of the Knights of the Vale, because before Baelish died, he's like, as Lord of the Vale, I command you to gather the Knights of the Vale and take me back to the Eyrie. He's like, I don't think so. So now you have everybody firmly behind Sansa, and she's like, I can't believe that went the way it went, you know? No, I can believe it. We work together. We're a family. It's what we do. So, now Peter Baelish is dead. We have now let's see, what else we got? I think that's about it because I believe that after the shots in Winterfell is when they go to Jon and Daenerys in Winterfell. Sam Tarly arrives and he goes and he talks to Bran. He's like, yeah. Oh, Samuel Tarly. Oh, I didn't think you'd recognize me or remember me. I remember everything. You helped me get beyond the wall. How'd that go, by the way? I became the three-eyed raven. Oh! I have no idea what that means. Fair enough. What I know is that Jon is about to lead the armies in the north. That's why I'm here. To help him. Well, We gotta wait for Jon to come back. Because when he gets here, we have to tell him that Lysa wasn't raped, wasn't kidnapped. She loved Rhaegar Targaryen. So that way his name's not Snow, it's Sand. Because Dornish bastards are named Sand. That's not true, says Sam, because I was reading in the Maester's private diary, as I transcribed it, that he had Rhaegar's marriage annulled and married Lysa and Rhaegar in secret in Dorne. So he's not a Sand. He's a Targaryen. Can you see that? And you see Bran kind of sit there, and he's suddenly in the moment. Private ceremony, the High Septum, Rhaegar and Lysa. Okay, so she wasn't kidnapped, she wasn't raped, she left. She never loved Robert. Robert's war, the Baratheon War, was started under false pretenses, and so all that hate was based on a lie, and his name's not Jon Snow, it's not Jon Sand. His real name's Aegon Targaryen. Ned knew. But I choose to believe that he knew, and he loved Lysa so much. He loved her that much that he couldn't bear the thought of her last living child, the rightful heir to the Iron Throne, who's on his way back to Winterfell now, to die at the hands of Robert Baratheon, his best friend. Couldn't let it happen. Couldn't kill the child. He's never been about killing children. Ever. So, now we have that coming. And this is all intercut with shots of Jon Snow going to Daenerys' quarters and them getting it on. So, they're, and the whole episode, the kind of in between is like planting those seeds that they really like each other, that they're really starting to come together. And this scene where Daenerys and Jon go at it just cements it. And I kind of like it in that I think that if, and here's the hard part. If Jon and Daenerys know, if they figure it out, once they figure it out, rather, because Bran's not going to lie to him. I don't know that Jon's going to tell. I don't know that he'll want to say anything, because he loves Daenerys, even though he's a Targaryen himself. He's probably not going to tell her because it would destroy her, and it's probably not going to be very good for him. They could unite the kingdoms behind them with that marriage. He doesn't have to have a great name. He's been named King in the North. By aligning with Daenerys in marriage, he then unites the North to the Targaryens, and he'd probably take the secret to his grave. If she finds out, who knows what's going to happen. It could drive her mad. She could be fine with it, but I really think that she'd probably not want to see him again. So, can't wait to see that. The final part. We see Tormund and Beric Dondarrion on the wall at Eastwatch. They look out, over the forest, and they start to see the armies of the night, the armies of the dead coming. Just hordes, thousands upon thousands upon thousands coming in. They're starting to, up and down the wall, they're starting to get worried. Okay, we might have to fight these guys. And in my head, I'm like, if I'm on the wall, if I'm part of the Night's Watch, I would probably have flooded the tunnels to keep the groundlings from being able to come through. They'd have to climb up the wall. Climbing up the wall, you've got the chance to defend yourself for a while. Hold out. Well, that's when Viserys comes back. The Night King riding undead Viserys flies in and blows fire in a line down the Eastwatch side of the wall. He does it a couple times to punch through the wall and destroy it. So now the wall has come down. Hundreds of wildlings die. And as soon as the wall's done collapsing, the armies of the night start walking through that area. They're coming south. Now we get to see what happens. We now know that Viserys breathes blue fire. Is it real fire? Is it like what he was breathing before with actual fire just colored blue? Or is it such strong ice that it punches through and doesn't melt anything, but rather freezes it in place if he's breathing on a person? Again, only time will tell. My personal thoughts is we're going to see dragon glass spears being made to load into those ballistas, those scorpions. We're gonna. I think that one of the few things that could burn, well, because you can't use dragon fire on dragons, but you damn sure can use it on the White Walkers. And oh, I almost forgot about this very important scene, because it's right before we see the fall of Eastwatch. Jaime is talking to the commanders of the armies. He's like, listen, you've got to start marching north. We got to start fighting. We're going to fight alongside them. You all march for Winterfell. You have 3 days to start. Well, the provisions won't be on the trail for a fortnight. You don't have a fortnight. You got to get going now. We have to march. You all go. And he's setting them up, right? And Cersei comes out with the mountain. She's like, pardon me, my lords. May I have a moment with my brother? Your grace. And they all bow and they go. She's like, what are you doing? I'm commanding the armies. We said we're going to help them. We have to go. No. What you're doing is treason. You're collaborating with our enemies to bring about our demise. What? You just said back there that we're gonna fight with them. You honestly think I'm gonna fight alongside foreign scum and a Targaryen usurper? I said what I had to say to live, to survive. When that thing lunged at me, I forgot the world. There is no world. There's only me, and there's only our house and our child who's going to rule Westeros. Listen, if you do this, if you don't fight with the armies of the North, you're not going to win. Let's say that this war is going to have an outcome. There's only two. Somebody's going to win. If it's the armies of the dead, they're going to come here and they're going to kill us all. If it's the Northmen, they're going to remember you didn't fight with us and they're going to come here and they're going to kill us all. You're not going to win this. Well, you're a traitor. You corroborated with our enemies to bring about our downfall. So, yeah. No, there's only one response for treason. See, we're going to have the numbers. Because even though you think the Dothraki are going to upset the balance, we have the Iron Bank. We have the Golden Company. You think Euron really left me? No, he left to go ferry the Golden Company across here. 20,000 men, horses, and elephants, I believe. The finest army in the world the finest mercenary army in the world is coming here. So you're going to name me traitor, and you've got the Golden Company coming. You think that's going to be good enough, and you didn't tell me. You conspired without telling the general of your armies to do this. Well, not going to matter. I'm here to ensure the survival of my house. And he's like, all right, fine. He turns to go, and you see Sir Gregor step dead in front of him. He turns back to her, and she's like, I told you, nobody walks away from me. All right, then. Give the order. It's the second time she's been taunted like that. First it was Tyrion, now it's Jaime. And he's like, well? She nods. Sir Gregor pulls out his sword. That's what I thought. And he walks past Sir Gregor. Sir Gregor turns around, and Cersei stands up. She watches him go. He gets outside the walls. He's no longer dressed in the Lannister armor that he's been wearing. Just simple riding armor. And he pulls a glove over the metal hand. And as he's pulling that glove tight, snow begins to fall. So winter is here, and the armies of the dead are coming. It's gonna definitely be interesting. So we don't have Lord Baelish anymore to deal with. We don't have to worry about him. Arya got him. It's gonna be definitely interesting to see what comes next. And that's what's happened in Westeros. Thank you for watching. Please like and comment. down below. And I will see you all for my next episode, whenever that happens.